modern day masculine man, take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break you, are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
Yeah. What up, family? As they used to say back in the day, yes, y'all, until the beat, y'all, or don't stop, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. It's another Tuesday. I'm here live with my man, Trab P. What's going on, brother?
Feeling good, ready to go to work.
You already know what time it is. So, you know, like I like to ask you when we start every show off, man, it's Tuesday. It ain't even hump day yet, but how are you doing, man? How's your week going? How are you marginalizing the bullshit? I love that saying. Keep that bullshit on the edge, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Been the first week of school. Got 11th grade and a 9th grader. Watching my daughter experience high school for the first time. So just kind of things, man. Just trying to play my role in they movie, man.
You know, I taught 9th and 11th grade English. And 9th grade English is what is it? American literature. And then 11th grade English is British literature. So for some reason, that 9th grade English, and it's not so much about the literature, it's the grammar. When they get into all them parentheses and when you use a comma, when you use a colon, semicolon, that grammar, 9th grade English, for some reason, has always tripped a lot of motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? And I always say, by the time you get to the 11th grade, I already know what you're going to do in life. It's over, or you're going to do all right, or it's over. You know, people most of the time, you can't get around your 7th grade self, but your 11th grade self, that's such an indication of, are you going to go ahead and graduate and chase life, or you going to end up in jail fucking up? And I used to tell students all the time, it's your 11th grade year. This the biggest year of your life. So it's funny that you got a 9th and 11th grader, man. I know that's got to be a beautiful thing, just watching your daughter, watching her being nervous, knowing that your son, they go to the same high school.
Yeah, and they just got reunited. Back in school together.
Yeah, knowing that he got to look out for little sister. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, ever since my children been little, I always ask them, what kind of young lady is you? What kind of man is you? What kind, and throughout their life, they would say, I don't know. And I say, well, the question more powerful than the answer. So now watching my daughter in a high school, and like you say, my son in 11th grade, as I ask them questions, answers start to come out now. And I'm all I can do is train the best way I can, teach the best way I can. And like you say, as a coach, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to see what kind, in a positive way too. So, man, it's deep, man. It's deep when you in this to win this.
Yeah. Well, we got a nice topic today, man. And it's funny, the topic that we have today kind of, let me share this real quick. Let me type this.
Well, I swear I feel good tonight, though. I swear I feel good. I feel good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you able to share it with your page, man?
Yeah. It did go right. I
Yeah, I know.
appreciate that.
Okay. Well, then that way we know we going on all platforms. Yeah, man. Today's topic, man, is something I want to talk about. It's something that I was speaking about today, and for some reason, we're talking about it with men, but we want to talk about it with the black race in general. But as we get started, you know what I'm saying? Men and criticism.
Mm,
It's a difference between critiquing somebody and criticizing somebody. But that critique, criticism, is some about that men and the black race don't like in general. And I think it stems from our men because our women follow our lead. You know what I'm saying? It's just some about that criticism, some about when somebody say, hey man, let me holler at you about something. And I think the difference in criticism and critique, my personal opinion is critiquing is somebody is looking at a situation, seeing what's right, seeing what's wrong, and helping to improve. Criticism to me is like saying that shit ain't gonna work and don't give no reason why you don't think it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just like now there are times that it's about how you do it. There are times that people have came to me with some of the fucking stupidest ideas in the world, right? And I could have criticized it, but I critiqued it.
mm,
But even in that critique, I was saying I don't think that's gonna work. So the thing about this, can you handle the truth? Can you handle the truth? Men often struggle with both giving and receiving critique. Some give it harshly, push people's others away. Others avoid it altogether to keep the peace. Uh, I want to talk about how to deliver criticism or critique without somebody being offensive or getting upset. What's your best way to say, or do you just say, are you one of these people to say, hey man, I just give it to you cut and dry and the chips fall where it may? Me, I try my best to do it the sweetest way.
mm.
But for some reason, the truth is just a hard medicine. And for some reason, I just am never met with a good vibe or a good response when criticism or critique is offered or when it's asked. Some people can ask me what I think about something and get mad at what I think.
Mm.
Do you find it hard to be critiqued or criticized? I know as a man, I try my best to be on point, right?
Yeah.
And I joke with my wife all the time. I said, you be looking for me to make a mistake. You don't want me to, but when you look catch me in one, you know what I'm saying? My wife will call me and say, you know, you left the light on the bathroom on this morning. And I'd be like, baby, did you turn it off? She'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, why you had to call me and tell me that? You know what I'm saying? So I joke with her all the time. It's like, and she'll say it seems like that she's in trouble all the time. And when she says in trouble, it's not in trouble like you're in trouble. She just say for some reason in a male female relationship, there's not a lot of times where she catch me slipping. So when she do catch me slipping, she says she's not happy, but it does feel good to point out when I'm slipping. Have you ever experienced anything like that with your wife, your friends, your family, anybody? Like, that's something that I feel about critique. I can't even act like I don't like it. I mean, like I do like it. I like when somebody pull my coattail on something because I don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
But the feeling that it gives my pride is kind of feeling like, damn, I got caught slipping. How do you feel about the whole criticism critique thing?
Well, I don't think it's a do you like it or do you don't type of thing with me. For me, it's all about being genuine, being sincere. When I feel that is the foundation of a conversation, I'm open. You know, that's an exchange. So if someone sincerely feels like they can offer me something to better myself or truly understand me to say, man, I see where you're trying to go. Let me show you something that'll make you better or stronger. But when it ain't genuinely rooted in that, in the intentions, is somewhat to drop something on my scale of confidence and logic, then I'm good at determining that and say, fuck what you think. You know what I mean? And then it may come out, well, you can't take criticism. No, you ain't worthy of criticizing me. That's the way I feel in the moment because I don't feel you genuine or sincere.
That's something I never thought about because I feel like everybody has an opinion and everybody, especially if someone is close to you that could even be in a situation to criticize you or critique you. I feel like there's a certain closeness. So I've never necessarily felt like, maybe I have felt that and I ain't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker, who is you to critique me? You don't take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? But I know when I felt like that, it's always something that was an ego punch for me. Like, for me to feel like that, they said something that struck a nerve within me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, you might have a family member that's a crackhead or don't take care of his kids or somebody that, just to fuck up the black sheep of the family. And they have something to say about you. And it's like, for me, if anything sting me or make me get a reaction, it stings. So I know personally, like, say, for example, if something don't matter to me, I keep scrolling. That's what I tell people on the timeline. You ever see people say, who cares? And I be like, you care, motherfucker. You stop your scrolling. As good as it feels to scroll, you stop your scrolling. Huh? Shit, let me type some on this. Who cares? So I've always said, when something is a thought, is a thing, when it's a thing, it feels a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So I know me, I tend that shit do sting. I try to be on point. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, that who the fuck are you? I think that's a result of me when I feel like that motherfucker got a point in a way. You know what I'm saying?
The other side of receiving criticism or critique is being accountable. Yeah. And when you can be accountable or have accountability, then that's, you can accept what people say and you can see yourself in what they're saying. So I learned this in football. Now, there's many ways to get here, but this is how I got here. So let's just say after a Friday night game on Monday when we had film session, the whole team watching the film. If we had a rushing touchdown against the defense, or if we lost or had a bad defensive game, then everybody was on the scale for critique because everybody finna witness you in the action of battle. And when we had a bad game and I got beat or I took a playoff, everybody said, look, this is the star of the team. Look, this is why we lost. He took it down off. He got beat. So I had to wear that in that critique. And I couldn't run from it. So that taught me how to be able to stand in anything when I know I'm wrong. But if I take that from someone who on the other end, when I redeem myself and I get a player of the week shirt, or when I watch my team redeem ourselves, if I know you ain't been in that to understand that, fuck you talking about.
Yeah, so, I never forget. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so my point is, when you real about yourself and what you do, you know when it's sincere and you can reflect in whatever the critique is to know if it's just or unjust. And if that ain't there, then this person most likely trying to kill your momentum, kill your confidence, or kill anything. So they'll use this connotation. You can't take critique. I can. I just ain't gonna take it from you.
Yeah, I get it. Say, for example, it's like somebody trying to feel that blame or remove that hurtful feeling. I never forget my senior year in the state playoffs basketball game. I missed 2 free throws, kind of like Nick Anderson, and we went home. And this is our senior year, you know what I'm saying? We ain't never going to play another motherfucking high school basketball game again. And it was like, he like Shaq, he missed free throws. And you had some parents coming to me after the game saying, it's okay, trying to console me. And really deep down, I didn't give a fuck. I'm going to be honest. I've always looked at that shit like this shit is a game. It's fun. I want to win, but I'm not gonna be down on myself. But the point I'm making is I had certain parents telling me, we wouldn't have got here if it weren't for you. And then I had certain people you can hear, oh, Javon fucked up. It's kind of like I'll never forget. And this is the saddest I ever been looking at a basketball game when Chris Webber called that timeout and they got that technical and fucking UNC beat Michigan in the Final Four. Boy, that shit hurt me because I was a Webber fanatic. And it's like Steve Fisher said after that game, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for Webber. But everybody in their mama can say, hey, Chris Webber called that timeout. Or Cam Newton at Charlotte when he didn't jump on that fumble. No matter how you cut that shit up, Cam Newton gave fucking Super Bowl performing year MVP season, but hey man, you were supposed to jump on that fucking fumble. And people gonna hold that no matter how you cut it. If it's a fan, if it's a motherfucker that's on the team, that he may not say it to you, but deep down in his heart, everybody like, hey man, we saw you could have jumped on that damn fumble.
Yeah.
So question, why does it seem like with black people, this critique and men, it either goes to straight silence, like, man, I ain't listening to this motherfucker, or straight blowing up? Like there's most of the time when somebody's being critiqued or feeling criticized, there's not a regular conversation that can be had. It's either a person sitting there sad, quiet, hoping you don't say nothing, leaving them alone, or is, man, fuck that shit. I have been in situations with friends, family members, where I know I see them doing something. I see that shit gonna blow up. I know it's not gonna work. I know what it's gonna do to the family. And I'd be like, I ain't saying shit because you can't talk to this motherfucker unless they gonna fucking blow up. You know what I'm saying? And I joke with my brother all the time. And I said, man, if you was on fire, nigga, I couldn't tell you because you ain't gonna fucking believe it. No matter what it is. Hey man, you on fire? Hey man, I ain't nobody on no goddamn fire. Some people, you find it hard to give that critique to. You know what I'm saying? So have you ever been in a situation where you just say, what do? Do you let a motherfucker crash and burn? Or do you have that confrontation because you love them? Because I got to the point where I say, hey, man, I don't even love nobody enough to go through no back and forth with nobody on some shit that ain't got nothing to do with my life and my well-being.
I find myself personally going back and forth because I care. And for the life of me, I can't figure out. And this me personally, the people that really got access to me. Sometimes when I get in these back and forths, it breaks my heart because how you don't know that I'm being real in the moment to even consider what I'm saying. But the back and forth be rooted in ignorance, egos. And when I say ignorance, this one thing amongst us, when we get our egos, when we start ranting about the things we ignore, that's when we become ignorant. And we think everything is an opinion. And we don't understand what fact is. So everything is an opinion to an ignorant motherfucker who ain't never paid attention at no point in time about what he talking about. And I done paid so much attention to what I'm saying. And here I am arguing with ignorance because through the ignorance, when you care, man, when you care, and you watch an ignorant motherfucker being ignorant and ranting about something ignorant that he don't understand or paid attention to, and you really care for him, and you see who really gonna be affected by it. And people that don't understand that think you crazy because they watch you going back and forth with a motherfucker who ain't trying to hear shit.
That's why they said don't argue with a fool, because the people watching won't be able to tell who the fucking fool is.
Come on, man.
I got a real good friend, and we have always been tight. And lately, he been on this Jehovah Witness kick, and he is Jehovah Witnessing me to death. And I be telling him, bruh, you haven't read the Bible, and he's saying this, and then I may give him a scripture from the Bible, and he said, well, the Jehovah Witness do this and this, that, and the other. I said, man, you don't know the history of the Jehovah Witnesses. You don't know this guy predicted the end of the world 3-4 times. You don't know this motherfucker was crazy. You don't know the history, and then you don't know the history of the books that have been removed from the Bible. Matter of fact, you ain't even read the version of the Bible you have. But this motherfucker is hell-bent on, well, the Jehovah Witnesses do it like this, and they seem more real to me. I was like, yeah, they can seem more real to you, but that don't mean you understand the Bible. It's certain stuff they do that's anti-biblical. You just ain't read the Bible enough to know it. And it's like, I'd be like, please don't talk to me about that. Please don't talk to me about that. And not only is it crazy, it's driving a wedge in our relationship, because not only do he not know what the fuck he talking about, he's trying to convert me. So I find myself pulling out his Bible, showing him shit in his Bible, and then he be like, well, I got to talk to my elder about that. The shit, whenever he's refuted, I got to talk to my elder about that. So what I realized is this. When I was in college, this lady taught me about the 3 levels of wisdom. She said some is, and I have a hard time remembering all of them. One of them is, just because something needs to be said don't mean that you're the one that's supposed need to say it. Just because something need to be said don't mean it's the time for it to be said. And just because something needs to be said, I think the last one is, the person don't mean the person want to hear it from you. So it's like timing, tone, and when you deliver some information. But it seems like no matter when you deliver information, if it's against the person's will, it's like, shit, why you wait that long to tell me? Or why you telling me now? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I wanted you to bump your head so I can say, hey, man, you bump your head because it is. Man, why the hell you going to sit back and let me bump my head? Like, well, every time I try to tell you something, you don't want to listen, and we get in an argument, and it affect our relationship. You don't see it as iron sharpening as iron. You see it as me actually cutting on you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had a friend one time who wanted to get into carpentry. He went and bought a whole bunch of materials. He was gonna build picnic tables. And he say, man, I'm finna do this. You know, he was wanting to prove. I think he had saw something on TikTok, and he was like, you know, he was wanting to connect with a man type of idea himself to prove he could do it. So I encouraged him. I said, man, do your thing. So he, you know, got all his 2x4s and everything, and he was out there measuring and booming, and it would never come out right. And he was out there frustrated. And so I'm like, man, he was like, nah, man, I got it. Man, so he went all into a rant about he know math and he know this and he know that. And I just simply told him, well, do you know that a 2x4 ain't really a 2x4? And that's why it won't come out right.
Yeah, it's like 1 3/4 by
you see what I'm saying, man? But it's simple things that you don't understand.
Wow, that's a great example. And that's, like I said, the foundation of, boy, you ain't read the Bible, man. You don't know what the hell you talking about.
So I had to be someone who think I know everything, someone who think, goddamn, I can figure it out. I ain't slow. And I really had to help him understand that what I'm saying ain't got shit to do with me, dog. A 2x4 ain't a 2x4. They just call it that.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you consider that critique? And in the midst of that, critique can be a opinion. Well, this ain't no opinion. This is fact. But when somebody have ignored or hadn't paid attention to what's real, man, 2 niggas will fight behind this shit.
Yeah. Man, I want to piggyback into the discussion I was having on the internet today, right here. Black people, it's hard for us to get ahead because we don't listen. Now, this is what I was saying. You take a country like Haiti. What I was saying is when a colonizer colonizes a country, or take slaves from one place to a foreign land to help cultivate that land and put technology on that land, that group of slaves is never intended to be independent. So you take Haiti. France owned Haiti. France had an infrastructure set up for Haiti, meaning France could import and export everything onto that island that those slaves needed. You see what I'm saying? The slaves didn't have a import export shit set up. You get what I'm saying? So when France decide, oh, okay, y'all want y'all freedom, shit, here you go, right? Now these people are left and they free, but they don't have an infrastructure set up to negotiate and have diplomacy with other nations. So now they, although they free, they still at the mercy of who? France. You get what I'm saying? So what I was saying is black people in America, if all white men, if all white people died tomorrow, we would die off in a matter of weeks. Because black people in America, no matter how smart we think we are, we don't have access to say, oh, okay, all white people done died. Let's go in here and break the codes to get in here and run the dams and run the electrical grid. Let's get in here and let's get on the logistics and let's manage our imports and exports. Let's go over here and let's import our gas and oil from these places. Let's manage the railroad lines. We don't have access to that. We might have 2 or 3 smart motherfuckers could do it, but we don't even have access to that. You see what I'm saying? And because that critique feels so strong, we got black people saying, and then they ignore everything I said and get right into their feelings. What about Black Wall Street? Well, if you would just listen, Black Wall Street was founded by black people upon the backs of a white infrastructure. Everything that we sold in Black Wall Street were raw materials that were turned into cotton. Maybe we made our own clothes, but that raw cotton had to be turned into yarn, had to be turned into fabric. We sold that. We didn't have a railroad line set up. We didn't have an electrical grid set up. You see what I'm saying? We wasn't importing and exporting these things. And people hate that critique and not understand that we're interdependent upon this white man, and we live good and eat good behind a system that he has set up. So we turn around and say, fuck him. If all white men die tomorrow, man, once all the gas gone out the pumps, what we gonna do? Start riding horses, killing each other? What do you think about that, man?
Man, I think I don't think it's deep. I think it's simple. We romanticize the ideas of becoming with no reality of being. I think you told the absolute truth when you say we. I think you mean in general, right? Technology is only 70 years old. My dad is 70. Right around the time he was born, up until he was around 5, technology was new. TVs was new. People having electricity wasn't 10 years old. People in the country didn't get full electrical in their house till mid 60s. So all of this is relatively new. So when we talk about surviving, you got to break it down to the basics. That's earth, wind, water, fire. That's the mechanic and the farm, right? So I'm saying this to say, if you take right now the people who everybody praying to be, and ain't nobody above this bullshit. You praying to be Jay-Z. You praying to be somebody who got all the followers. You praying for somebody who got all the material things that you think successful. I want you to gather all of them up in your mind. And just like you said, in 90 goddamn days, if they don't know, you can put them in freedom. If they don't know how to get water, they're going to fucking die. And my granddaddy knew how to do that 80 years ago. And knowing how to do that didn't determine by what you had. It was by what you is and what you know. So in 2025, I don't know a billionaire, any of our heroes that own manufacturing plants, that make a goddamn thing. If the white man left right fucking now, who gonna make toilet paper? And who understand?
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, hey, look. And he go the sad part, even going into the part we just talked about. I run a manufacturing plant for a living. And right now I can tell my people something powerful. I've been begging right now to get any young black people who got engineering degrees, anybody who got money to invest. Let's invest in some extruders and make some goddamn molds and manufacture something. It's simple. But I don't know one billionaire that got the idea to make anything. And right now, if I have a conversation, the people that's around me gonna say, but you can't say that. You don't know that.
Yeah,
because they know me and they don't think that much of them got themselves that somebody they know the way that they'll tell me, but you can't say that. And I ask them, well, who fucking can? And in their mind, it's only the goddamn white man. So that's where we're gonna fucking be lost at, right goddamn now. This shit real. And if you think this some coon shit, motherfucker, go plant a garden and find water when it ain't none.
You know what's so funny? What's so crazy about that? Like you were saying. Oh, no. You good. What's so funny about that is what the white man and his technology, its job was to get us to rely on that so that we can't take care of ourselves. Black people are spiritual people tuned in, tapped into nature. I'll give you a perfect example. Black people in Africa and blacks over here, we weren't going to develop this land. We was happy with using gold and metal for jewelry. We weren't gonna build with that shit. We was building with rocks, stones, and mud. We weren't gonna take iron and make ore and make steel. We didn't care about that. You see what I'm saying? So we lived in a certain way. What technology has done has removed us away from nature, like you said. So it's a situation where we have to go buy a grape. We have to buy everything we eat. So a lot of us I grew up on a farm. I know how to hunt, skin animals, fish. I know how to farm. But the point I'm making is we rely on technology so much. Without our TV or our phone, we'll be mentally ill, much less being able to survive without electricity. We'll be mentally ill.
Let me tell you a real life story, man. I do a summer program called Levels of Leadership, Hero Training, and we do covational training where we do General Electric, heating and air, and we take children and expose them to certain aspects of life. And that ain't my per se field, so I'm learning as much as I inspire and teach. One night I come home and my kids say, Daddy, the water cold, and it was in the winter. And they were like, how we gonna take a shower? And my homeboy, my big brother Crump, he get on me. He say, man, you got a multimeter yet? He had been drilling me to get a multimeter. So I finally got a multimeter, and I went and tested that multimeter. And I realized that I had a thermostat gone. And I went to Lowe's and I understood what I learned. The same thing that we taught some 9, 10, and 15-year-olds. I learned it. And for $30, I changed that thermostat. And that hot water heated up. And my family looked at me like a goddamn hero. Do you know how many men family will have to leave home and not get hot water for a week because only thing in their mind is how much money do I got to call somebody? And if they ain't real enough to be connected to some real people, they gonna call them white folk.
Shit. Hey, man, we are the biggest spenders.
We talk about, like I said, how can you get in your feelings when the truth is being spoken?
Hey, Trab, we the biggest spenders of white tyranny. When the white man go and colonize and tyrannize the world, we be like, now let us buy what you got. Whatever you got, let us buy. We gonna dominate. We gonna get the gold teeth. Whatever the white man, give me the iPhone, give me the lithium, anything that the white man is colonizing, we buying for cheap. And we don't care who hurt in the process. We don't care who hurt in the process. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. This is what really fuck with us. Black people, the original word in Latin, business, means war. Black people don't have the evil nature that it takes to do business. Business is, I'm trying to fuck you. Black people don't have the evil nature of what it takes to try to do business. I give you a perfect example why black businesses don't do well. Black business say, I'm so happy that you're giving me some business. I'm going to charge you $800 to pour this concrete, right? I'm going to give you a deal because you black, because I'm really so happy that you fucking with me. Whereas the white man will charge double for that, and he going to guarantee his job. But because I gave you a discount, I expect you to look over any imperfections. Instead of saying, hey, look, this is my skill. I charge this motherfucking much and I stand on it. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Black people don't have what it takes. The white man met the China man. China man showed him some gunpowder, gave him a little bit. White man said, well, we want all of it, goddammit. And then China had to build a wall to keep him out with the shit that he gave him. You know what I'm saying? We ain't cutthroat enough. We don't really. The white man has said, look, we need to build an electrical grid through here, and we're gonna put these power lines up. And yeah, everybody in this city gonna get canceled. But guess what? Shh, don't tell nobody. Shit, hope nobody find out. Black people be like, but they're gonna get canceled. We gotta build around and charge an extra $100 million. We too nice. We ain't got what it take to say, hey, hold, look. Go take that shit from them and let's sell it and capitalize off it. But they're giving it to us. They're sharing it with us. That's what the white man said. Hey, look at them pineapples and avocado them black men over there got. They giving us some. White man said, what if we kill them and take them all? We can sell them over there in London. They'll love that. We ain't got what it take to say, fuck it, let's go get some slaves. Let's go capture a village and destroy everybody and put them to work.
Now, as truthful as that is, you just say, who hears that as a degrade and who hears that as a true truth? I think that was almost admiration that you spoke of that we got, because we have something in us that nobody ain't got. That's why we love Jesus more than anybody.
And we say we spiritual.
The spirit of love, everything that's about is in us, right? So, and here go the relationship between white and black that a lot of people don't understand. You just said it. Slavery was simply business.
That's all it was.
To this day, they don't have empathy. They can't understand the feelings of another because in their mind, in their history, in their legacy, what was doing was business. It was real life to us with our soul, but it wasn't for them. So I'm saying this to say, in our position in this, if you expect a fish to climb a tree, it ain't the fish that fucked up, it's you for your expectations. That's all we were in their mind is business. So I even want to go into Black Wall Street. This is what you got to understand. The very same thing that you say make us weak and make us different. See, they know that about us. And that's where the change still is. But here's how it worked. Slavery ended in 1865. They say, what we gonna do, man? We got all of these people, and we got to do something because they think they free. This the power of words right now today that's being used on you. Spells. They just simply changed the word from slavery to sharecropper. They say, we free, but what we gonna do? You free. I don't know. I ain't got nowhere to go. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Okay, boss, but I thought we're free. We is. I'm going to pay you for it. Then they do the same work, the same thing that they've been doing. They just change the name, change some words around, change the mind. Now, at the end of the day, they say we free what we make. They say you made this, but this is what it costs to live. We even. It's all words. It's all games in your mind. So now they say, well, we got to cultivate this to be able to have shepherds. So the Northerners came from the north on a missionary mission. I'm talking about that church. They said if we play them in their soul, we'll always have control. So they came and opened up what we call HBCUs. Fitz, Georgia Institute, Atlanta Institute, that became Morehouse. All of these black colleges were missionaries.
Xavier was the first one. It was Xavier, the first one. It's a Catholic college, HBCU.
They got all their leaders. They got all the leaders. They went down the line. Show me your leader on your property. Bring them. Many were called. Many was invited. But only a few gonna get selected. You know how? If you make the cut or you don't. So the ones that made the cut, they cultivated them in a craft. How to build earth, wind, water, fire, electrical, plumbing, carpentry, and masonry. See how this worked? When they built this cultivation of a class, they went out and they built their own cities based off the craft. But they didn't understand the assignment. They really understood we all we got, we all we need. So they built these cities like Black Wall Street from the bottom. They saw that the sweeping man needed to understand the sacred geometry of goddamn square root of 2, because that's going to make him sweep like he do. White man say, we ain't get this for y'all to teach it from the bottom up. We gave it to y'all for y'all to hold a matriarch over them. They said, well, we ain't know this. So they bombed that shit and got a new class. And now them same niggas won't tell you the truth.
The funny thing
niggas won't tell us the truth. Them same niggas. The same niggas who call themselves leaders that ain't gonna value the mechanic and the farmer, the ones who really gonna save us when they get the fuck up out of here.
And this is what's so crazy, even at that, Trav, when you look to the core of that, in the beginning, you have, say, for example, I went to a HBCU, right? In the beginning, you have people like, I give you the story of Dr. Shepard, who started my university. Right here in Durham, they had a Black Wall Street. Now, this is how this shit go. No matter how you cut it, it's business, it's truth. Dr. Shepard and about 5 of his guys was sitting around in the barber shop like, yo, how do we make some fucking money? You know what I'm saying? What do we use to build us up? And Dr. Shepard said, insurance. He was like, you're going to die any motherfucking way. So they started North Carolina Mutual, a black insurance company. They're like, shit, everybody black need insurance. White man won't even sell us fucking insurance. So they started this black insurance company. Now, they go to the white man and say, hey, listen, I know y'all think we just feel niggas, but we got a lot to offer. We got a lot to offer. If you allow us to govern ourselves, we can be out of y'all hair, make y'all a lot of motherfucking money, and be the, as you say, the buffers between white man and regular black folks. Now, these men are saying the shit that we set up, regular black folks gonna benefit from it. So no matter how you cut this shit up, whether it's Masons, colleges, fucking supervisors at plants, no matter how you cut this shit up, it's always gonna be a buffer class. The biggest thing is what they wanted to do is, like I always say that I didn't realize growing up, we own a farm, is get your ass off the farm. Because what the bottom line is this: post-slavery, everything that you say, the Masons, the carpenters, the fucking blacksmiths,
yeah,
everything, we was former slaves, so we knew how to do that shit.
We was the source.
Yeah. So what they did was gave certain motherfuckers contracts. And guess what we do? It's the same thing they do in Africa now. You got different tribes and different groups. They run shit, buffer between the people, but they don't never do right by the fucking people.
They don't never do right.
You know what I'm saying? But the people benefit in a way. I give you a perfect example. This is something we can talk about, and I see how you feel about this. You say Dr. King, right? Dr. King's father. We talked about this before. Dr. King's father was the motherfucking man. A lot of people don't realize that blacks didn't vote Democrat until 1960. Dr. King was locked up. He was about to get like 15 years in jail, and fucking it was Nixon running against JFK. And Dr. King's father called Nixon, and Nixon didn't take the call, and he called JFK, and JFK took the call. And, you know, JFK's brother was the attorney general at the time. A lot of people don't know this, you know what I'm saying, or don't remember history. They didn't seen it, but JFK brother got Dr. King off. So black people, Dr. King's father was like, look, we endorsing JFK, going with the Democrats for the first time ever. And that's why growing up, we saw the fans in church. They had John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King on it. They put that out in the church. And that was how powerful Dr. King's father was. Now, having said that, that was the beginning of Dr. King talking civil rights, equality, integration, voting rights, civil rights, blah, 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 blah. Now, we do know during segregation, we had more. The family was together, blah, 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 blah. But we was getting our ass kicked, and they could do whatever they want to do with us. Do you think we are better off, and where we at, and where our children at, having not the experience? You see the trade-off? You see what I'm saying? Man. It's kind of like people say, man, doing integration, we was da-da-da-da-da. But doing integration, you was getting fucked over. Before integration, Black Wall Street was a black boule, rich motherfuckers doing to black folks what the fucking white man was doing.
Come on, hey, look, let me ask a question. If all the white people leave today, who gonna be the new slave masters? Who gonna be and when I say slave masters, I mean the shepherds of labor. Who
you
gonna be the one?
You would be one.
Labor?
Think about this, Trav. You right now supervise a manufacturing plant, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as such and such, whatever you make, whatever you know, as soon as such and such, this is to be the hardest thing about black people. We can't even organize and distribute our own music, and we got billionaires that's in the music game. We can't even, let me finish real quick. We can't even monetize black hair care products. So what I'm saying is the hardest thing will be for us is to delegate authority as black men. So you got some motherfuckers that want to run the plant, and I'm like, hey, Trab been supervising a plant all these years. The white man going, we need Trav to be over manufacturing and set up some with these plants. And motherfucker gonna say, fuck Trav, I sold dope. Why he got to do it?
You see what I'm saying, man? You boy, that's exactly. Let me jump back into this too about Martin Luther King. We're gonna drop some real raw shit, right?
Yeah.
The legacy was through his maternal, his mama, his granddaddy. His granddaddy built the foundation. Alberta, he didn't have a son. He had a daughter, Alberta. Alberta would carry the legacy. Martin Luther King daddy came in the picture and took over the throne of his father-in-law. Mm-hmm. But that legacy, Fletcher, he was the founding member of that first generation of the craft, the first generation of Morehouse, the first generation of those that built Black Wall Street and black prominence throughout America. He was the first, right? So when Martin Luther King finally got to be old enough to take on the legacy, he was cultivated. He was almost a prodigy. His daddy went over there to Germany, studied Martin Luther, came back, changed their name. Their name ain't even Martin Luther. Their name was Michael. He changed their name. All this is general knowledge, but he changed their name because he was cultivating and crafting something that was being built, right? So when you saw the political aspect of how this young man was being cultivated to be represented by us, a lot of people don't know this. See, there was an undercurrent of real blackness at that time that felt like he was the devil. He got stabbed in the heart by Isola Curry while he was doing a book signing. And they said if he would have sneezed, he would have died. So Martin Luther King wrote a book called If I Would Have Sneezed. And she felt like he was a devil to the black people because he was taking on the role of the Communist Party to truly, goddamn, deceive us. And she was like a Hebrew Israelite into the Bible deep. So this is an undercurrent that we don't hear about, right? So after Martin Luther King died, and we would think, well, this is all about Martin Luther King, but it's deeper than that. After he died, a year later, his brother was found face up in a swimming pool. Mysteriously. 5 years after that, we're talking about Martin Luther King mama in Ebenezer Baptist Church. A black man went in there in her service and shot her in the head in the middle of service. So what did they feel that we ain't never heard or understood that was deeper than Martin Luther King?
And you know what's crazy? That's why J. Edgar Hoover, like a lot of people don't understand communism and socialism. A lot of people don't realize J. Edgar Hoover was on King, calling him a communist. Communists are what the Democratic Party is today, socialists. This is how communism and Marxism and socialism all go together. And that's what Dr. King wanted. They felt like you want black people to have equal rights to the means of production to shit that you don't own. You want black people to have equalness to the means of production you don't own. Ain't that what the Democrats doing now? The Spanish that are over here should be able to get driver's license. The immigrants that's over here should be able to get a housing voucher. The immigrants that are over here should be able to get food vouchers and money. And the immigrants should be able to have safe cities from ICE. That's the same thing. People don't realize that's the same thing that Dr. King was saying. And they view that as communist, socialist. And I agree to a certain extent. Like, who the fuck says that I pay taxes and that immigrants coming over here get to live and get a free health care, free this, free that, and they ain't working a fucking at all for it? I don't think white folks should be able to get that. But the point I'm making is, when you look at it overall, are we in a better place? I always look at old folks' narratives, right? And I talked to this area in Durham called Hayti that was like Black Wall Street, blah, 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 because we had a Black Wall Street in Durham. And the Hayti area was just a long strip of black businesses. And, you know, there's always a freeway that come through. You know, that's the what am I trying to say? Institutional racism when they build a freeway through the black businesses. But that's after the shit then fell off and they can buy that property cheap, or they can put eminent domain. I'm listening at the old folks say the pastors sold them out. And I'm listening at the old folks say when integration came, black folks, and we see it now, it ain't about integration. See, it's one thing people don't realize. Let me say this real quick. There's a difference between segregation and integration. We still segregated. Black folks go to school with black folks. Black folks live in white folks' neighborhood, in black neighborhoods. Black folks sit in where black folks. We still segregated. We're not integrated. We're desegregated. But let me make this point. Old folks said this, and you know this now, that when we were so-called integrated, black folks broke their motherfucking neck to go shop with the white man and had a white man named Brand. Did you see that motherfucking documentary that they made back in the day where they were showing this is how you sell to the Negro? Did you see that?
Man, yeah.
Now think about that. Now black folks want to be independent of the white man. My granddaddy used to say black folks don't want to be free. Black folks want the goddamn whip. We want to hold the whip.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want to be the white man.
Yeah, because it's like to this day, we want to be so independent of the white man or talk about the white man do, but we will break our motherfucking neck to have exactly what he has. We want his, not only do we want the white man, we want the gay Italian white man. We want Gucci Verducci on our shirt, Favlana Lucci, Cinderella Shucci. We want that most expensive stuff. And then not only that, we look down on a man that can't get it, or we tease the ones that can't get it. We go as far as to do this, Trav. See a motherfucker with a chain and kill behind it, or a nigga with a got a wad of money to his ear. What is he really saying? Dick Gregory said something that I think was the illest thing in the world that Waka Flocka heard and changed his life on. Dick Gregory said, man, when I bought that motherfucking Cadillac, first thing I wanted to do was ride back to the hood. He said that when he pulled off, he thought about it. He said, now what the hell did I do that for? Just to show these motherfucking niggas they ain't got no motherfucking Cadillac. And that's where we are. Ain't that white?
Man, we
don't realize that we are a hybrid spirit. We actually got the spirit of white folks, but we ain't got the balls that white folks got to do what it takes to do certain things. This old white man told me, Trav, he said, man, you know why black folks, white folks keep their foot on y'all neck in certain ways? I said, why? He said, because if y'all would have did to us what we did to y'all, we still be hunting y'all motherfuckers down every day in the streets.
Come on, man.
Think about that shit, Trav.
Man. Hey, look, we come a long way, but I know in my soul we went the wrong way, dog. And I'm gonna make this statement. I think that racism is only real in social media now.
I don't believe in racism. Wow.
Hey, listen, it's only real in social media and where people play victims. Because in real life, classism is the mascara that America uses to cover up her bumpy face of racism. And here's what I mean. Talking real life shit. I ain't talking make believe. I stand in the school board meetings. I stand in every aspect of government. I done stood there and I done got all out of bounds. I done got all in a rage because I knew one thing made me peculiar in this room. I wasn't there working. I was there because, goddamn it, I come here because I care. But when I got up there and looked in the eyes of people that look like me and they at work, man, they about trying to stay in the class they in the zip code, in the tax bracket. They don't want their kids to go to school with Ray and boom goddamn Shinka, no goddamn more than the middle class people. It's all a fucking game because everybody want the same goddamn thing, to get far away from the lowest, poorest motherfuckers they can find.
Exactly.
And you a bullshitting lie if I'm lying.
And not only that, Trav, not only that, we need a lower class. We need somebody to feel sorry for or to blame. You see what I'm saying? That's what we don't realize. I'll give you a perfect example. When I was teaching, I was like a teacher mentor, and I was telling a teacher one day, she said, oh, I feel so sorry, such and such. I said, well, you need to get out of this profession. And she was like, why you say that? I said, well, when you feel sorry for somebody, you can't help them. She said, what you mean? I said, when you feel sorry for somebody, you already done made up your mind about their destiny. You see their future. You see what I'm saying? when you have empathy for somebody, you believe that you can change and help and intervene. When you feel sorry, man, I feel sorry for them kids over there. Oh, so you don't got no hope for them at all. You see what I'm saying? So that's what people don't realize with black folks. This victim spirit, this thing that us feeling sorry, and white folks, that's what their biggest business is black sorrow. You know how many white folks are rich, are famous off black sorrow. They job. It's this white lady, and I respect her, and I know who she is, but her name is Jane Elliott, and she done made millions of dollars going around the world, black sorrow, making black folks feel bad. And this is the thing about us: when we feel sorry for ourselves or think that somebody need to feel sorry for us, it shows that we don't have no hope. It's a perfect indicator. Oh, I feel sorry for them. What do you say when you kicking somebody's ass? Oh, I feel sorry for Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. I feel sorry for y'all. That means we kicking y'all ass and y'all ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Hey, look. I had a brother gave me a critique. Going back to the critique. He said, man, you care too much. He said, you the type motherfucker that'll beat somebody's ass, then feel bad and go back to apologize, and he gonna shoot the shit out of you. And I had to chew on that and say, if you beat his ass, he deserved it. Don't give a damn how bad you beat his ass. So, like you say, too much of anything is bad for the soul. So that's some real shit. You can't have sorrow. And let me say this. Being in that nonprofit game, I want to say this, that nonprofit in America is the biggest money laundering scheme in the history of America. And the biggest foundation for this, I'm talking about throughout America, is poor, suffering, neglected,
that's a
black children and black people, and they all come in the guise of help, but their product is suffering, struggling, destroyed black people, and they will never ever take away their product. So they have a cycle of a new class of suffering, struggling, deprived black people. And I'm talking about real life shit. When I go in there with hero training to say, fuck that. Come on, y'all, let's rise up. We ain't no fucking victim. They say, how dare you give these people hope to know that all they got to do is change their mind. And so much so that the motherfuckers in the room that look like me will see me as someone that they will say, how dare you say that shit? Motherfucker, are you listening what I'm saying?
But look, guess what, Trav? Guess what? This is where you don't understand that. This is where you become the Mason. This is where you become the Boule. You understand that there are people looking at you like that because what you're trying to do is you're trying to pull up. If you're trying to pull somebody up, that means you're above. And the motherfucker that's down always gonna look at the motherfucker above. Or say, for example, no one is never gonna fucking critique somebody that's less than them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get the point what I'm saying. So say, for example, like you said, the nonprofit, that's an industry. That's an industry. Church and nonprofits. This is what criminals do when they get out of jail. They get a church or they get a nonprofit. And the way they get over with the nonprofit, I've seen cats that I know. Now, I know cats that got nonprofits that do big shit, but they use their for-profit business to fund their nonprofit, and they actually get a tax write-off. But then I know niggas that got a nonprofit and they do stuff like this. Hey, I'm doing a book bag drive and a community cookout with a basketball game, right? And they go rent a gym for $100. They go buy $200-300 worth of hot dogs, and then they get some book bags ordered from China. Now the whole thing is they got their Cash App up for 3 months, and they raising money for the annual Javon Clark book bag drive. And I done raised $50,000-$60,000 for this shit, and I spend $3,000-$4,000 and give out some book bags. And this is my hustle every summer. You see what I'm saying? That's why I always say, show me a nigga not using his real name. And I'm gonna show you a nigga fresh out of jail who's spitting some non-profit shit, some religious shit, or talking about building a school.
Come on, man.
It's just a scam amongst us. And I don't understand why we act like we don't see this. It's like everybody, say for example, and this is where people get mad at me. Noble Drew Ali, Fard Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, Sarasun Seti, Brother Polite, Umar Johnson, Young Pharaoh, all these niggas don't use their real name. 19 Keys, they don't use their real name. And all of them are members. All of those things are nonprofits. The Nation of Islam, that's a nonprofit. I don't know if people know that. And it's crazy because all of them say the same thing. And it's copying the white man, and we don't realize it, right? We telling the truth. We critiquing ourselves. We're not criticizing. All these guys say the same thing the white man said. This is what the white man told you, right? And its foundation is in the Bible, because the Bible said Jesus has hair like wool, and the Bible said Jesus has bronze skin. So they take the hair and the skin. So white folks know black folks couldn't read, and you had to be rich to actually have a Bible back in the day. So they said, well, the thing that says Jesus is black is his hair. So what do? They give him blonde hair and white skin. And the Ku Klux Klan and all racist groups say Jesus is God and God is Jesus, and the white man is God because of why? He got blonde hair and white skin. So what do the black man turn around and do? Bar the white man's story. You God. The black man is God because he got ether in his hair and melanin in his skin.
Hey, listen. But here go. Hey, look, man.
None of them never use their real name.
Hey, look,
never use their real name.
I love this. So let me say this. Let me say this one thing so we can get this in context. Like we said earlier, slavery was a business. White people don't have empathy. If you expect a fish to climb a tree, then it ain't about the fish, it's about you. We got to understand and know our position since the inception of America, since the inception of us here. If you want to be an Indian, be an Indian. But even Indians got chiefs. Are you an Indian or a fucking chief? You got to decide that too. It's still the same fucking thing. But I'm saying this right here to say that when we talk amongst us, we can control our unity, our mindset, our logic to deal with everything outside of us. We got to clean within our own self to have a general understanding. So even when it comes to the Bible, let's talk about the point of it all, y'all. The truth ain't black. The truth ain't white. The truth ain't Asian. The truth ain't Mexican. The truth is universal. Everybody can take that story and apply the truth to themselves. Do you understand the point of the story? It's where we got to stop being children to realize. Because when he said a long time ago, rich people had Bibles, this ain't no 400 years ago. This ain't no shit you got to go research. We talking about 60 goddamn years ago when my granddaddy couldn't read and the only book he ever seen was the one the preacher had and the one the teacher had, and ain't nobody in their family ever held the goddamn book. So ain't nobody know how to read but to a little bit of goddamn time ago. And them people know the truth. They know the point. They was brought here for the goddamn point. Agriculture, understanding the cycle of the sun to know how to reap a harvest, when to plant, when to sow, when to grow, and that determine God being good. So where we at the fuck now? Where we at the fuck now, if we don't understand the point of it all, and you still stuck on a story on any level, I don't give a fuck how pro-black you talk. You ain't pro-black till you give him back his goddamn God and create your own.
But see, Trav, you said something earlier. You said they gonna control us with the soul. Now think about this. We college educated, we can read, we can write, we got access to the Bible, we got access to Google, Chat GPT. The thing is, we looking for you saying something that you expecting too much. You looking for us to see that as esoteric messages. Like you said, the sun, follow the sun, the harvest. God is good. You know what I'm saying? Open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing and reap. You looking at us to understand that for some, we see this shit as we think we can really talk to a fucking mountain.
Yeah, but
You see what I'm
check this
saying?
out, though.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. No, I'm serious, man. They have bewitched us. We can't see the message and the truth in it because we're literally thinking that the turtle is racing the fucking rabbit. It's like we don't see the fable in it. We don't get it. So when you tell us, goddamn 3 little pigs, we don't see build your house on with stone and foundation. We see we like ain't no motherfucking wolf chase no pigs into no straw house and no wood house. We not getting the story. So when we read the Bible and all the access we got to it, we like, he walked on water for real. David really did do this. David really did this. You know what I'm saying? So say, for example, I was talking to a cat today and we was talking about David. We don't understand the truth of stuff. Say, for example, David killed Goliath, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how good you know the Bible, but who told us David killed Goliath?
Your story, come on with it. The cousin or somebody. Go
That come from the book of Samuel, the prophet Samuel. David wrote all the Psalms. David didn't tell us about him killing Goliath. His biggest fucking supposedly biggest feat, he didn't mention that. But he told you about fucking Bathsheba. I fell in love with that bitch and killed her husband. He told you about his biggest flaws. So we don't even understand the context from which we seeing shit and who's saying this shit. Well, so we can never learn what you're saying. So what I'm saying is that preacher, that gatekeeper, there's always going to be a class of people that's gatekeeping, and at some point you will be called one of those.
Well,
if you do what hero training and what you trying to do, who the fuck he think he is giving these kids hope when we want them to live in victimhood and sorrow? This nigga must think he's somebody. He's giving them a craft, a handbook. A whole, he writing books for this shit. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I will say this, and that I do got an ego in that. I do got a purpose. I got all my intentions in what you saying. But that's the point. I know Minister Louis Farrakhan. He know what the point of this shit is. Whether you call it esoteric or I just break it down to the elements, earth, wind, water, and fire. He know what this story is really all about and how it internalize and personify itself. They taught us this in elementary with the 7 figurative language of writing. They taught us everything we need to know. Ain't none of this shit deep. We already know it. But I would never accept that a man who was crafted and anybody who's standing that sacred knowledge and look at my people and say they don't believe that we can handle the truth, so they feed us to keep us children. Man, I'm just crazy enough to believe that I love black people so much because my granddaddy taught it to me.
I believe some people need to be spoon-fed.
My granddaddy taught it to me, man.
Some people need to be spoon-fed and some people need to be lied to. I promise you. In our race, the elementary minds, and let me show you what I'm saying. Say, for example, I'm speaking from a school teacher because you just said some major shit. We know the 7 literary devices, personification, metaphor. No, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we don't.
We learned it though.
No, the fuck we didn't, Trav. Our race is basically illiterate. You did good in school. You sat on this show and said why you work so hard in school, to motivation to show that you were not like certain people and to make certain people proud and make sure your daddy never going to be able to get on your motherfucking ass for nothing. So you know what personification is. When other people see that and they see some personified, they take that shit literally. You know what a metaphor and a simile is. You know what a hyperbole is. You know what a motherfucking allegory is. They don't. So what I'm saying is What do we do with these dumb motherfuckers right here? I give you a perfect example. Now, this is where people get mad at me. White people used to justify sterilizing black people. They said we were feeble-minded and we needed a certain amount of supervision and government. Now, watch this. Look at our children in DC, Chicago, LA, and certain cities. Now, I ain't talking about motherfucking our men and criminals. Look at our children. Our children have made it to where it's not safe for us to walk the streets in our own neighborhood. Those are the motherfuckers that need to be lied to and spoon-fed and motherfucking governed over.
Hey man, I want to tell a real life situation. And I'm from Charlotte, right? And I remember on the corner of Badersford and LaSalle. If you from Charlotte,
Badersford is getting like they gonna bring them motherfuckers to Badersford soon.
I spent 6 years every day on that corner at Big Time House of Style, right beside Tropicana. And I stood there every day and connected with that whole neighborhood. And I saw the facets of people locking their doors. I saw how the spirit work when you get out with a good spirit. I learned a lot, right? So all the understanding is a couple of months ago, me and my wife went up to a KFC up the street, and my kids were in the car, and we was in there, and this is the first time I ever understood YNs. They came in there, they had their pants off their ass, they was prowling, they was goddamn on the prowl. There was another man in there getting scared, and me and my wife looked at each other, and she looked at the kids, and I gave her the look. I said, well, baby, go to the car. She said, but we back and got our back up against the window. And I cased the jump. And I said, these motherfuckers act stupid. And I was scared. And I ain't never been in this type of way to feel threatened by my people. But I looked in the eyes of these young dudes, dog. I don't know where they was. But I say, boy, they finna wear this goddamn day. Look, hey, I'm getting out of here to go to my children, right? So, long story short, they called up my chicken. And that older man looked at me like, please don't leave me, brother. And I had to say, man, I got to get out here to my goddamn kids. But I know right then, that's some real shit. And if you ain't real enough in real life to know that, then you might be that, goddammit. You might be that if you ain't real enough to know that and know that. God darn, it's been a whole disconnection of some babies in this world that ain't never saw God, ain't never felt God, ain't never experienced God. And I ain't talking about no deep shit. I'm talking about love and care that come from inside one to another. And when you ain't never experienced that, you a little motherfucker beast prowling this goddamn earth. And if you don't know that's real, like I say, then you ain't fucking real. And if you get caught up in any type of political narrative other than realizing we at an all-time goddamn low, then you got the mind of a white hole. Bottom goddamn line.
Victimized mind. And this is where I go as far where people get mad at me. This is where people get mad at me. Now you see why they was sterilizing poor women in the ghetto who were not married.
And let me say this.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Now you see why they were sterilizing poor women in the ghetto who were not married. Not only were they sterilizing, they were tying their tubes too.
And it ain't about poor women in the ghetto neither. It's about expectations is the seed of disappointment. It's a whole lot of well-educated good sisters that went off to college and was living through the natural courses of nature, but got in situations where they didn't want to disappoint, so they went and done it too, and came back right now to this day with everything but the one thing they so desire. So
Exactly.
this ain't this spectrum is real. This ain't about good or poor. This about how it worked. This about what they did to us. But if you don't understand that and know your position in this shit, you will think it's about good and poor and think you ain't a part of them.
Well, no. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's just like Planned Parenthood. That's to get rid of, like Margaret Mead said, to get rid of weeds. Now, watch this. This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm saying. There has to come a time, like you just said, in real life, there is a separation of the boule, the middle class, the peasants, because you just told a story where you knew good and goddamn well it was to say, fuck that chicken, get your family out of there, because you knew what you was dealing with.
Yeah.
And you know you are not them, but you know they exist.
Well, let me say this on the flip
You see what I'm
side.
saying? Because I ain't gonna die on the vine of, I've had some niggas, I had me and my homeboy, we got in an argument the other day, right? He's street nigga, right? He swear up and down street. I say, you're not street, you just was unsupervised and fucked your life up. However, he say, young niggas, the YNs, Javon, you don't know how to talk to them, and you scared of them, and blah, 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 blah. No, I don't want to have to kill one of them. So he swear up and down that he to him and how he can do this and how he can do that, and they listen to him and blah 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 blah, and I don't know how to talk to him, and I'm disconnected, and them motherfuckers robbed his ass in his own neighborhood the other day. But he telling me, I said, man, you not them. There's a different breed. It's a different flower. You know, like we was uprooted from Africa. Some of us was here. But by the time we intermingle with these motherfuckers, we got their nature without their evil spirit that it takes to have their nature. So we're a different flower. Now our kids then figured out our kids have the evil spirit, but don't have no soul. Our kids are white like them towards us. Our kids are our kids terrorize. They have the lack of the soul. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, as black people, there's always going to be a class of, there's somebody going to lord above us. There's somebody got to go to Congress for me and you, no matter how we cut it. No matter how we cut it. The problem with our race is this. Back in the day, it was clear. If you wasn't somebody of substance, of something, you shut the fuck up. So say if we in the meeting and they say, all right, now, when all the white people dead, all the white people gone now, all right, we got to figure out somebody to be the minister of education. I said, well, look, I got a master in education. I suggest that I be minister of education. I'm known as the master teacher. Do the men in the world, not the room, but all the black race got to agree on this shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. Now they done made Javon master of education. So now that I'm somebody, I gotta vote. I gotta say so. As master of education, I would like to put my guy Trab over master of manufacturing. Oh man, that nigga from Charlotte, man, fuck him. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. See, back in the day, they'd say, who is that guy speaking back there? Oh, he just a guy with a social media page. He don't know nothing about, man. If you don't get this motherfucking nigga up out of here talking about he voting against this man on manufacturing, he don't know a goddamn thing about manufacturing. Sometimes certain motherfuckers have to shut up when it comes to certain things. Things.
Well, you know, I look at it like this too, though, man. In that situation, and that's real. That's how it works. It's gonna be naysayers. It's gonna be doubters. But you got to show yourself to prove. I done went in the place where it was 150 in there, and I came out as the one. I done been in a stadium where there was thousands. I was the one, the thing they call. So, and I'm not making that about me, but
I know what you're saying.
And if it's real, then ain't nothing about showing myself to approve. So if that is the situation, and I step up, many are called, few are chosen, many are invited, but everybody won't be selected. So I'm saying if I get invited and I'm selected and I'm one of the ones, I'm saying I got integrity. And and it could be, man, people can't handle it this way. People can't handle it that way. Everybody got to govern. If I'm at that table regardless of how I got there. And I know that's the mentality, but I know the purpose of me being at that table is to represent those of the least that ain't got the means to be here. Man, I stand up with dignity to say, God damn, I'm here for a purpose in them people. And I'm real enough to identify whether it's white or black. Man, y'all full of shit. Y'all bullshitting. And somebody got to stand on that. And in most cases, like I said, when you understand the point of the story, even in Jesus, you got to understand in the story, in the end, he was getting his ass whooped. They was kicking his ass. He was in jail. He was getting beat. They was having a parade. Everybody was saying, kill that motherfucker, kill that motherfucker. And it was only a small little handful of people that said, man, he the goddamn real one. And they killing his ass. And that's the way it worked. So if you ready to bear that, goddammit, I ain't got no other choice. I'm just crazy with this Jesus spirit.
Now watch
and I don't
this.
believe in the story of the man. I'm talking about the spirit.
I agree 100% with you. Now check this out. Now you got Malcolm X, you got Martin Luther King. You got two men that was 100% dedicated to their cause, that Jesus spirit that you talking about, but they got two different ideologies. You got some people said King was a sellout. The man gave his life for what he believed in. Some people said Malcolm X told on the Nation of Islam. He a sellout, but he gave his life for what he believed in. But that's two polar opposite ideologies. You get what I'm saying? Now, that's the point I'm making. When you go out here in your Jesus spirit and give everything that you got for our race, and to enlightening people with hero training, there are going to be a large percentage of low-life motherfuckers that's going to call you a Dr. King sellout. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I mean when I say we as a people in certain eras, in certain times, judge certain motherfuckers. I'll give you a perfect example of what I mean. I just put it out clear. I have a certain feeling about Masonic lodges, Shriners, fucking fraternities, sororities, goddamn nonprofits, preachers, teachers, and politicians. I have a certain way I feel personally about all these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But I also understand there's a certain vilification and a certain expectancy that goes on in certain situations. And I also understand that I have been the guy that was looked at as the boule nigga before. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, I'm boule. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But depending on who you are and what phase you are in your mission and your purpose, and depending on how many motherfuckers hearing you, there's always somebody going to look at you and say, and you see it just like me, even we sitting here now. Tomorrow night, somebody going to say, that's in your close circle, man, I feel sorry for that nigga Trab because they don't believe in you. Man, I feel sorry for that. That nigga get up there and holler them goddamn words every night. That motherfucker crazy. It's like John the Baptist. You know what I'm saying? John the Baptist on the outskirts, hollering and screaming. This motherfucker crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look. And this is how I respond to that, though. As truthful as that is. That's how it worked, right?
But it's not truthful, though.
But
you know the
no,
size of a 2x4. You got some shit for people. You got a book. You got hero training. You got a proven method. You're not crazy.
No, I'm saying that's how it worked in the mind of that type of spirit, right?
Oh, okay. The motherfucker, he's gonna hit anyway.
That's what come with the game. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. If I'm talking to somebody on the football field and they want to play running back, you know people gonna take your head out and you're gonna get more contact than everybody on the field. That's what come with it. Do you like contact or do you not, right? And once he established that and understand that, if he want to run the ball, then goddamn learn how to run the motherfucker over or defend yourself when you're getting tackled. So I get that. But he go to point. And I'm gonna put this in broad perspective of hero training. If I'm talking to a young man, I want him, or I'm gonna try my best to inspire him to believe in himself, have self-confidence, have discipline. We come a long way, but we're going the wrong way. We got everything that our ancestors ain't got, but the one thing they had that we don't got is discipline. We ain't disciplined worth shit. So have discipline, structure, believe in yourself. Get you a job. Find something that you like to do that don't feel like work. While you're young, truly go inside yourself. Get a trade. Figure out what you like. Get some stability. Once you get 2 years stability, take that discipline. Buy you a home. Put yourself in the best situation to be able to live and survive. Once you get you a home and a foundation, go find your balance. Find you a woman. Start a family. Find your reason. And live life to the fullest, young man. And if he do that, if I do that, if you do that, and anybody who's listening who's a part of that, I promise you, when Beyonce wake up in the morning, her breath stank. If you think somebody realer than you, get the fuck out the huddle. Ain't nobody realer than you. You are as real as it get. And if I got to goddamn water that down to somebody who gonna tell me your people can't handle the truth, then motherfucker, I think you a gatekeeper that don't want them to have the truth. Because that's the only reason you think you stand, because they don't goddamn know. So I'm gonna tell it every time, Javon.
I feel you, but I'm not even gonna play devil's advocate. I'm going to give you two examples of pure truth, right?
Yeah.
All right. This is how black people get confused. Nigga, Uncle Tom, right? Let's use these two words in the confusion of nigga and Uncle Tom. When I said contextually, and niggas don't understand words and grammar. Watch this. When a white man was referring to a black man back in slavery time, he said, that boy, that's a boy. That's a boy. He follow. He listen. That's a boy. When a black man didn't listen and didn't follow the white man, he called him a nigger. That's a nigger there. So being called a nigger by the white man was a powerful thing. In the very same way, when a black man didn't listen to the white man said, that's an Uncle Tom right there. Because the book Uncle Tom's Cabin, Uncle Tom was the slave that rebelled against the white man. So when the black man don't fall in line, he walking down the street. Black people listen to two white people talk. Look at old Trab over there. He's an Uncle Tom. He really saying you a nigga that won't listen, that won't fall in line. You got hero training and you teaching these young boys to do everything you said from top to bottom, right? Look at that nigga over there. Trab a nigga. But when we hear him call you that, we say anything the white man calling him got to be bad. So what do? We turn around, misinterpret, and derogatize nigga, derogatize Uncle Tom, right? And now your whole hero training meaning and everything that you're doing well, guess what you are? Because you're teaching black men how to survive and how to be accountable and how to do everything you just said. Now you a nigga and now you a fucking Uncle Tom to your own fucking race.
And let me tell you what.
But let me finish this last thing and then you got it. But then we turn around and the very thing the white man called us to say you was somebody that followed in line, somebody that's easily trained, boy, we turn around and call our friends my boy.
Come on, man.
Everything that you're doing with hero training, when the white man look at you and see, God damn it, that hero training is changing his race. They gonna say that goddamn nigga Trab or that goddamn Uncle Tom Trab, and other black folks gonna say, look, you notice, think about this. What you say, you're going coon hunting. When you saying coon hunting, you ain't really talking about hunting coons. You hunt people that would call you a coon. You think about how many motherfuckers would call you a coon.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look. Like I say, I'm gonna tell you a real life story. I remember I went against a management system. They say if we break Trab, we break everybody. I came in young. A lot of people been there forever. Overcame drugs. Once I simplified real estate, just from buying a house, just from being taught, I had everybody buying houses, recovering addicts. Everybody, man, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Everybody buying houses. They would tell me, these older men, old enough to be my daddy, work with my daddy, boy, you can't drive that car here. You can't let them white folk know you drive that kind of car. That's what they would tell me, Javon. I say, these white folk know we ain't goddamn stupid. You know how much money you goddamn make. Drive the motherfucking car. Show them you ain't fucking stupid.
They know how much money you make.
Hey, look, everybody started buying cars and buying houses. They said, we got to get rid of them because they knew I had the influence. I saw how this worked. They was attacking them just to get me in real time. I got them out of there because I knew my power and influence. I knew I ran this plant. I knew I ran this mill. So when things went down, when my morale went down, the higher up came to me and said, what's the problem? I say, I don't feel good about coming to work, and I can't perform when I don't feel good. Instantly changed the management. They said, boy, I never saw a young black man can go in there and talk like that right there. So I got the trust of these men with integrity. With integrity. And let me tell you something. When I got in there and I became the boss, boy, I started realizing who the snitches was because they was coming to me snitching. I say, whole goddamn time. Whole goddamn time. It's been you, motherfucker. It's been you. So I'm saying this to say, man, if you real and if you really got the sincerity to lead with integrity, then it ain't no looking at nobody to say who ain't worthy. Everybody worthy of the truth, even if they don't know what to do with it. Everybody worthy of love, and truth is love. Everybody worthy of the way. I don't give a damn, dog. Like you say, and they would tell me, they say, well, you can't tell everybody how to think. Everybody ain't gonna think like you. 2 + 2 = 4. That ain't got shit to do with me. You better learn how to either understand that and multiply that to get some more. And if you hear me in telling you the truth, then I know that's about your soul than it is about the truth or me. That's something about you. So that's why when I get them negative people, and I'm saying this, that's to anybody. When you know in your soul, you telling the truth to help somebody, man. Man, hey, look, man, you got You got to stand in the mirror.
You definitely gonna stand on it.
Come on, man. I'll be a coon. I'll be everything, cause everything I do, everything I say, I have paid attention because I care about what I talk about. And I don't talk about nothing I don't care about. So when I'm talking about the shit I care about, motherfucker, I'll stand on this shit up against the world.
Exactly. You know, it's funny, man. I was in a conversation with a guy on Facebook. He was on my page, and you know, it's funny how we can't critique each other. And I was saying that Umar Johnson and certain things that he do and certain things that he's been doing. And he said, well, one day you said you're going to start a church. You're going to take a donation or take an offering. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're trying to shame me or trying. I say, hey, man, it's a difference in me saying, hey, God damn it, if you think I'm saying some good shit, put something in the collection plate, right? Put my Cash App up. Then saying, hey, give me this and I'm going to give you this back. You're already receiving if you're watching me. If you're watching me, you already think I'm worthy of gift. That's why the Bible said, the workman is worthy of his fruit. You know what I'm saying? if you're watching me, you already didn't show that you think I'm worthy of anything that you would give me. But the point I'm making is, man, because I gotta get out of here, is when it's all said and done, if you care and you do anything that's worth being done and worth being scrutinized or called to Uncle Tom or called a coon or whatever, that's when you really you reaching your purpose. Because you think about it, I joke all the time. Umar Johnson is famous for calling somebody a coon. Yeah. And ain't that always how it is? The person that's doing it, you know what I'm saying? The person that's doing it is always the one that's, always got something to call the next motherfucker. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, I know you are, but what am I? But before we get out of here, man, wrap us up, man. Let you wrap us up on whatever you want to say before we get on out of here.
I know I saw a comment that say somebody got to do the fries. And I say, man, we speak to the Lords so that they may climb the ladder to wherever they divine. Even if you the fries, you fry them with pride, and you cook the prettiest fries ever ate, and be the best fry you can be. No matter what part of the puzzle or what piece of reality it is, all of it is necessary. All of it has a value, and you got to know that about your position in whatever in any aspect that you are. So believe in yourself. And know what's real, and know what love is when it's being given to you. You can feel it in your soul. And I know some people listening to this ain't never felt it or didn't really feel it until they got old. But it's real, but you got to be real enough to receive it when it's given.
And I'm going to say this because this is what I started on and I believed on. In Africa, there's this thing called Harambe. That's this thing where everybody got a job. If you pick sweet potatoes, that's all you do. If you pick yams, that's all you do. If you hunt, that's all you do. So if you just do your job, if you pick yams all day, water and fish is always going to be there for you. That's the spirit that we have, but it's been corrupted. So I'm telling people where we disagree at is somebody got to do them fries, right? Yeah. But because back in our African spirituality, the fry man is content. He gonna do them fries. But now with that white man mentality, the fry man want to be the fucking cash register man. And if he ain't got the skills that it take to move up, he gonna sabotage some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to all the Black Panthers. That's what happened to every organization. We had a motherfucker a fry man that wanted to be cash register man, and he ain't had the skills it takes, so he bought the whole goddamn restaurant.
We can't count. Want to run the camera. Can't count worth shit.
That motherfucker want to run that register. He wanted because he want to hook some of his boys up. He like shit. I'm running fries. That ain't shit. If I get on this register, I can hook my boys up and make me a little change. You know what I'm saying? I'm just fucking with you. I had to rebuttal you right there at the end, man. But I appreciate you, man. Hey, y'all be good. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Tomorrow night, we got Ranting and Raving Wednesdays with me and Miss Carla. Y'all check out Trab Thursday night at 9:30 on Facebook. And we going to keep this thing going. Peace.